So the era of substance gave way to the era of shadow, an era that experienced the incruciative and excruciating pain of being disconnected from the Almighty. An era where an alternative, a substitute in the shadow sense was required. And it's an era of sacrifices, an era of typification. Yes, it's an era of typification in the type, in this pattern, in this format. Moses was instructed that he should carry out all that we instructed him in the mount. So it was an era where people were instructed on what to do, especially the nation of Israel that recognized God in that era. It was majorly the nation of Israel that recognized God on a collective sense. There are people from other parts of the world who did recognize God, but not on a collective sense. Apart from the nation of Israel that God formed to perpetuate his presence with humanity, you will admit to the fact that you cannot see basically any other nation until the coming of Jesus Christ that was completely sold out to the Lord on a collective sense. Though in the case of Nineveh, it was revealed that they were preached to, and at the time they repented on a collective scale. But their case is quite different from what was obtainable with the children of Israel. The children of Israel was regarded as God's own people, and they were sold out to the Lord. So the Lord God interacted with them on the basis of a prototype. So God was giving them the shadow of things to come. The shadow of the things to come. Jesus is the substance. So the shadow. So they were given the shadow. And so the issue of animal sacrifice, the issue of incense burning, and many other issues, using of water for ritual, for purification purposes, and the issue of heave offering, sin offering, the issue of different types of festivity, the Passover, the different kinds of festivities were conducted, and some other formalities and rituals were made in order for man to relate with God. Why those things were made? They were made not because God wanted them so, but because God was trying to reach out to that which was dead. Because the book of Romans 4 says, God who raises the dead and calleth those things that are not as though they were, is the God we serve. So he was making effort to reach out to man, because at the judgment he meted out on man after man's sin, there was the possibility of salvation. He shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. The seed of the woman, it was foretold. So the era of shadow was a preparatory era for the advent of the seed of the woman.